The same group of destroyers that had been chasing and sinking the Japanese escort in the last episode has managed to catch one of their battleships unawares. The Fuji, a Choyo-class battleship, has been caught by Winslow, Little, Crown and Shield and John C. Butler. This is a 38,000-ton behemoth, and it looks like the Japanese fleet is in complete disarray since her escort is nowhere to be seen. And we have spotted the target on the horizon. So we've got two groups. We've got the we've got Little and Winslow, and we've got John C. Butler and Crown and Shield. Both of them are going to go straight for the target, and we will see if we can make a catastrophic torpedo drop happening by charging her from the front. We'll see if she turns about, and we can sink some torpedoes into it maybe. Definitely a lot of guns, so far we've been relatively lucky when it comes to engaging the Japanese heavy hitters, but that would be a fine price if we can get the torpedoes on target. Obviously with the 5-inch guns we're never going to make anything happen. And it looks like the Japanese have spotted us as well, because there is some incoming fire, and that may be directed at Little. We'll see how precise they are at this range. So far, Japanese gunnery has not been exceptional, but obviously they're still range finding. So these shells, if they hit us with a high explosive shell, that's it for one of our destroyers. So certainly a high risk operation, and she is turning to port, I believe. So we'll probably send the second group on an intercept course, while the first group is going to continue charging at her. We'll see if we can get ourselves into a good position to drop some torpedoes. Okay, that could have gone better. So Little has just taken 2 hits from the 14-inch guns, and I think Little is done for. She is going to need to detach. Little is going to have smoke off. This is going to get her torpedoes away, and then she is going to leave. Winslow is still charging, but yeah, that was. I'm not sure if that was a lucky hit, but that was definitely a lot more than poor Little could sustain. So. She is taking on water in the midsection, and she has lost 2 of her engines. So we will get her to withdraw and keep charging with the rest of the destroyers. We have the torpedoes away, but I'm not sure if from this distance that is going to work too well. Definitely going to smoke up the rest of us and make it a little harder to hit. I didn't think we were... How far are we away? Well, we're 6 kilometers away. That is a relatively decent range. So we'll see where she maneuvers. We'll disable the torpedoes for now. We'll see where she's maneuvering. But Winslow is getting into range as well. And maybe Little can get one of her torpedoes still on target. But yeah, these were two nasty hits, and these big guns, they are trouble. Okay, she seems to have evaded the torpedoes at least. Winslow is closing in rapidly. We do want to hit her from point blank if possible, unless she gets shot out of the water first, that is, of course. And the second group obviously is charging her down still as well. Not a great torpedo angle, but we'll see what we can do with Winslow. She is still in the turn, so if the Fuji is continuing to turn, then we'll give her as little of a target as possible, pun intended. But if she is continuing the turn, no, I think she's sailing straight away. So we'll try to get into, we'll try to overtake her and get the torpedoes away from point blank range with Winslow if we can, while the second group is coming in from the other side. Okay, those were the main guns, I think, from the sound of it. Is she turning away already? She might be. I'm gonna drop with Winslow first once we are in position. The secondaries obviously are going to be a problem, but I do need to actually get ahead of her to get a good torpedo drop off. So we'll see. We'll see what we can make happen here, and if she can dodge that. Hopefully we can outrun her turret traverse, and the secondaries don't get some good hits in. But we will try to overtake. Yeah, she's already going evasive. She's going evasive to starboard. Secondaries hammering away. Main guns missing at point blank, and that should be Winslow's chance. Let's just get ahead of her a little bit more and get the torpedoes away if you can. Oh, and torpedoes away. Are we too close? Winslow, torpedoes. Torpedoes! Oh, she's taking hits now. There she goes with the torpedoes. And that was a full salvo. So now we're going torpedoes on the other side. John C. Butler from point blank. No more need. She is burning. The magazines have exploded, and that's it. She's taken her down. Little had me worried there for a minute, but in the end, absolutely no chance for the Japanese battleship. Winslow has taken her out with a full torpedo spread, and that is that. A group of submarines has managed to ambush the Choyo, lead ship of her class, off the coast of Formosa, and without even ever being detected, they have snuck past the screening group and have sunk the Shoyu with torpedoes. That is the second battleship that the Japanese have lost within a matter of days after the disastrous loss against the Arizona. After the recent successes in the Philippine Sea, naval planners are feeling confident that we can start hitting the Japanese home islands and bringing a quick and decisive end to the conflict. As such, we have begun the naval invasion of Okinawa. We'll be bringing all available forces into the area to ensure victory on the beaches. In a desperate attempt to stave off the pending invasion of Japanese homeland, something that the Japanese never considered possible, they are throwing whatever remaining forces they have in the area at us. The Jinsu and Nagara, in an obvious suicide attack, are up against the combined American fleet, which pretty much involves everybody who's around. That is certainly a sight to behold. Honestly, we're just probably going to get the light cruisers to try and find these Japanese cruisers. Where were they? Southwest. So probably roughly in this direction. And we'll just get the rest to follow. This is literally the whole American battle fleet that we've pulled into so far. And we've made contact. So these the Japanese light cruisers are absolutely on a suicide mission at this point. And that means all I need to do is get the battleships into a line formation such that they can, which ones are the main battle lines? This is the other battle line around the Fresno. And we've had another line over there, yes. So probably the only thing I need to make sure of this is that we don't get any kind of accidents with the torpedoes here. So while the battleships are getting their rear guns on target, and we hear the roaring of the guns in the back there, Fresno, leading the light cruiser charge, can go in and drop some torpedoes at these guys. And yeah, we'll see who lands the first hit, but these two Japanese cruisers are very, very dead. And I think the cruiser force around the Fresno should not have a problem charging them down. So let's get in close. Where was the second cruiser group that I had over here? Yeah, the Cabot can intercept, and they're actually smoking up. So we'll get Mississippi leading the battle line here to do the heavy lifting. If I think they somebody managed to land a 14-inch hit on. Oh yeah. Somebody managed to land a hit. Who was that? Yeah, it was one of Mississippi's 14-inchers. So that cruiser is already in a bad shape, which just leaves Fresno's group. We do have to be a little bit careful about torpedoes here. But it looks like we have launched our own torpedoes. So from the rear, by the looks of it. Let's not run into those then, please. But who's launched torpedo? It must have been either Oakland or Roanoke who've been launching torpedoes from the rear. Second cruiser is still fighting there. The other one, I think, has thought better of it after the relatively heavy hit. And just making sure I'm not running into my own torpedoes here. Fresno is still launching more torpedoes. But I think we should be relatively clear of them now. There's enemy torpedoes incoming. Where are these going? Well, Fresno turn, go for the turn. Gives you an opportunity to launch torpedoes from the other side. And there's more torpedoes. Yep, I think we're on a good course. Like some enemy torpedoes incoming. And I've got the 3 light cruisers here launching all their torpedoes at these ships, but yeah, they are not going anywhere. We'll probably, where's the other cruiser going? Seems relatively stationary. So well, we'll launch some more torpedoes, and then we'll just finish them off with the guns. It's the battle line. Yeah, battle line is firing actually. So yeah. The biggest threat here at this point is our own ships, I think. We are literally going guns blazing here. And I think there's another torpedo incoming, so we'll just have to turn. But the light cruisers are absolutely destroying the Nagara. We'll just get the Fresno to turn about to avoid the torpedoes coming in. But just the pass here from Fresno, Oakland, and Roanoke is such a withering gunfire. I think the Nagara is going to be going down relatively soon. We'll get the Fresno to turn about, just to avoid the incoming torpedoes from over there. And haven't seen much of the big guns hitting anymore. I think that was a lucky hit, the first one there. And do have to be careful here not to run into the torpedoes. Actually, I think Fresno can outrun them. Roanoke has avoided them, and Fresno is going to avoid as well. Nagara is sinking, and that leaves the other light cruiser, so we're just going to go and catch that one. I think Oakland should be reasonably safe from these torpedoes as well. Yes, she is. Okay, so let's get Fresno to play catch up, and we'll see that we can make sure that the other cruiser goes down as well. Fresno is closing in, and we are landing mostly light cruiser hits. I think the heavy guns are too far away at this point on the Jinsu, which is just trying to do as much damage as she possibly can. But we've also got the, where is she? Here we go, the Cabot coming in. So Cabot can go on an intercept course and see if she can finish off whoever gets here first. That's the big ones there are 14-inch guns, gunfire coming in. I think Cabot's going to get relatively close actually first, so maybe she can take that particular kill. So let's get into a good range and then try to finish her off with either guns or torpedoes. She's taken surprisingly little damage so far, but that's mostly because Fresno's group still has to catch up because they were finishing up the other one. So that thing might still have torpedoes ready, so we do have to be somewhat careful, but I think we'll finish her off in style with a torpedo launch from the Cabot. If we get into a good... Oh, there come her own torpedoes. So let's go evasive against those. But that means she should be out of torpedoes on that side, and we should be reasonably safe to go and overtake her. I don't know how much speed she's making, but it can't be an awful lot anymore. With the gunfire coming in from the Fresno's group from the other side. We'll just avoid the torpedoes coming from here. Cabot is doing 33 knots, so that scout cruiser has no problems catching up to her. And we'll do the same maneuver that we've done with the battleship. We get close and finish her off with torpedoes from point blank if she doesn't succumb to the 6-inch gunfire in the meantime. Okay, the Cabot is about to overtake her. She's already flooding in multiple compartments, and yeah, we'll end the suffering. These light cruisers can be surprisingly sturdy, but I don't think she will stand a chance against a full torpedo salvo from the Cabot. So let's see what that's going to look like. There go the torpedoes into the burning wreck of the light cruiser. And there are the torpedo impacts, and that should be the end of her, I'd say. Yeah, the Jinsu is done for. She's flooding across the whole length, and at this point, yeah, she's going to go down in a second. Well done, Cabot, and the scout cruisers, due to their speed, take home the prize. Now I am curious who actually managed to... it was the Mississippi. She managed to get one of her... she managed to get a hit in, but other than that, it's been all down to the... the Idaho, actually. The Mississippi landed a minor hit, a partial pen with the 14-inchers, but the Idaho managed to land the belt penetration with her 14-inch main battery, and the rest is the Cabot's work as well as Fresno and Roanoke cleaning up.